Right. We have head UTSA women's basketball coach Karen Aston's weekly media availability, week of February 16th, 2026. Roadrunners split last week, first taking out Temple for falling to South Florida in the convo. This week, 2-game road swing. We'll go to Wichita State on Saturday, February 21st, and we'll include next Tuesday, February 24th game against North Texas, again on the road, because we won't have a weekly press conference that Monday. Coach, if you can start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, I thought it was a good week for our team. Obviously, two really competitive games that, came down to a lot of really little things, which is kind of where you're at this time of the year. Teams really know each other well. You get into a real grind, typically defensively, and I thought Tuesday's game we were really good defensively, and then Saturday, South Florida's offense is really good. Their transition game is good, and it was better than our defense. So that's kind of what it's boiling down to right now. I think it's kind of a dog eat dog time of the year.
What do you think it'll take for the team to be successful in Wichita?
Well, a good week of practice. I think that we've been typically pretty sound in practice lately, and it's kind of it's a double-edged sword to have a bye in the middle of the week. It's good for your legs. It's good probably for them to take a breath as it is the staff. But in the same breath, you have to stay competitive. You have to keep an edge, and it's a long couple of weeks we have ahead of us. So I do think that we need to catch our breath. I think a couple of days off will do this team some good. However, the practices need to stay on edge. We need to stay competitive so that we're ready to play in Wichita.
It seems like Sinai Beans developed into her role pretty well throughout the season. What have you liked from her recently?
Yeah, just her growth. I think she was set back a little bit with an ankle injury that was in the fall, so she missed a lot of boot camp, so to say, and it's taken her some time to get used to the speed of the game. I thought Saturday she looked like a freshman in a sense of South Florida's speed, and the way they play in transition was difficult for her, but you kind of take that out of it. It's still an enormous amount of growth in a short period of time, and it bodes well for her future for sure.
Over the season, Cheyenne Rose developed into one of the top players in the league. I'd have to think she's one of the top candidates for the Most Improved Player award. So really, my question is, how crucial was her deciding to stay and play the six-man role behind Jordan last season, something that's pretty rare in the game today with the prevalence of the transfer portal?
Yeah, it absolutely is rare, and you have to appreciate that about any player. Anytime that I get to coach them, really, to be honest with you, more than 2 years, there's a great deal of love and appreciation for those that do stay. I think that she understood, first of all, her goals academically are very important to her, and getting a degree in the areas that she wanted to study, I think, was very important. So that played a huge role. But then I think also just the development stage. I mean, I think Cam does a great job getting in the gym with our players, as do all of the coaches. And I think that she knew that she would continue to develop, and that her role would kind of put her on the stage this year after Jordan's graduation, which is exactly what it's done. And I think it was a great move for her, especially if she's wanting to go play professionally, and she is. So I think being able to get on a stage and really get a lot of touches and let somebody really see what her talent level is was very important, other than jumping ship and maybe being another role player on a team.
Thanks, Coach.